Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Teach, Sleep, Repeat. My name is Dylan.
And my name's Hayden.
And I have successfully transferred my cold over to you.
Yes, as you can tell from the sound of my voice.
And this is why when we say, if you're ill, you should stay at home. This is why. Because now you're all groggy and I didn't want to give you that benefit.
I really hoped we'd learned something from COVID.
Sorry, I can't get past the way you're speaking around. I really hoped we would learn something from
Don't make me laugh either. I also can't laugh on this podcast. It's not great. I was hoping that we'd pick up the fact that wearing masks is actually really polite towards other people. And you didn't wear a mask last week.
Sheeple.
Yeah. Oh, God.
Following big medicine, sheeple.
Wasn't that mad?
Yeah.
Wasn't that mad?
Because they were the biggest sheeps of all.
Yeah.
Weren't they? Following and flocking to anyone who said
a mask.
Yeah. Well, someone in a big suit said, do this. I'm not going to do it. I know better than them.
Herd immunity or something that I heard online.
Yeah. Wash your hands and sing happy birthday. Okay. That lasted a long time, didn't it?
Oh,
anyway, let's not get bogged down by all that, Hayden.
No.
I've got a nice story to start us off with this Q&A this week.
That's not a question or answer.
It's not a question or answer from our lovely WhatsApp community, which you can join down below if you want to be submitting questions for the future. However, I do have a story.
Go on,
and I thought, this is too good to pass up. I used to work at insert academy name. I'm not going to name and shame them. We used to have an annual show. I'm not going to name the show either. Keep this as anonymous as possible. Essentially, a PE and gymnastics show. All staff were attending as marshals and stewards. Directed time, of course.
Right.
I'd love to hear that. During the same week, this finished past 10 p.m.
Ooh.
We had a meeting and a parents' evening. Everyone was utterly exhausted by the Friday. On the Friday morning, this deputy head, she's now the head teacher, saw me and commented that I looked annoyed. Me. Of course I am. I've had 3 late nights this week. I haven't been able to go to the gym or my rugby training. Her. Well, because of the early starts and the late finishes with SLT and meetings, I haven't seen my daughter awake since Monday morning. That's the level of dedication you have to have in this job.
Oh.
I left the school like a greyhound in the next transfer window.
Yeah, that is just not something to be proud of, is it? I can't imagine saying that with a smile. I can't imagine saying that in any kind of positive way. I haven't seen River in a week because I've been working so bloody hard. Us teachers, let's make sure everyone knows how hard I work. No, I don't care.
Yeah,
That's
do you know what?
ludicrous.
I'd hear that and I'd feel a bit sorry for them.
Yeah,
Genuinely.
yeah. And the daughter.
Yeah, let's not forget the daughter here.
Your child hasn't seen you in a week.
I
What
love
are you
how
talking
it said,
about?
like, I haven't seen my daughter awake since Monday morning.
Awake.
It's like, so she's just getting up that early and leaving and getting home. What I don't get is I understand why people are in situations with their work where they might not see their family for a while.
Mhm.
I kind of get that. I understand that it's not,
Sure.
and they really don't like that, but they're like, I've got to do this.
Mhm.
So I really don't want to just put a blanket thing down here. My big issue here is, number one, a member of your staff team has said how annoyed they are at the late nights of the week. They've not been able to do what they want to do, get in their hobbies, etc. And you think it's almost like, well, I'm in a worse situation.
Yeah, yeah.
Isn't that the kind of thing we all have to do? And it's just so insane to me that you'd go to that rather than going to, I'm sorry you feel that way. Let's work to make it better. Oh, I've got it worse than you, so you need to be happy with that.
I can't stand people in general, but obviously let's put it in the context of SLT within our line of work, who have to bring people down to their level. Whatever the thing is, whatever the sacrifice is they're doing, it's just an expectation. There's no thought trained to one. Oh, is this good for me? Is this a sacrifice? Should everyone be doing it? Should I really be making sure that the school ethos is like this as well? Because just because I'm doing it, it's just, well, I'm doing it, and throw my toys out the pram when no one else is doing. No one else is sacrificing their weekends for this club. No one else is doing this thing that I'm doing now, objectively for the job that has nothing to do with the contract. Why isn't everyone else doing it? It's just like, get a grip. Like, you're an adult. Do you know what I mean? Like, have some compassion, bit of empathy. You're a leader. I was about to swear. No more beeps.
It's cold.
We used up our quota of beeps last week.
I couldn't believe how many people there were with that
Yeah.
episode.
You're
right. You're absolutely right. It's frustrating, and it just does come down to that. And I really want to make this clear to people, because some people listen and go, well, you want to go above and beyond, etc. And that's so good for the individual, but as a leader, it is your job to put your staff team at the front and center. And this example, the thing that stood out to me was the sheer amount of stuff that was planned for that week. Now that is a choice. That is a choice to, you've got your gym show that's annual, that happens at that point every year. Cool.
Sure.
Don't put parents' evening in the same week.
Yeah, I know. What are
Don't
they doing?
put 3 things that are late every. Don't do that to your staff team. Just move it around. Just think. Just have some forward thinking. And in the front of your mind when you're planning, should not be, well, I've sacrificed stuff, so screw all these guys. It should be, okay, I'm willing to sacrifice this thing, but do you know what? My team maybe won't. I'm going to take that decision, take it by the scruff of the neck myself, and do it for my staff team so they're not even put in that situation.
And even if you have to have those things back to back, like it just turns out, I'm so sorry, guys, but we just have to have these 3 things this week. At least have some sympathy. Like at the very, very, very least, have some sympathy for the staff that are then a bit annoyed. The fact that they've been here 13, 14 hours a day for the last 3 days in a row.
Instead of saying, I've been to 11 Arif, when you say you've been to 10 Arif.
Always running up in the
Don't be that person. Thanks so much for the story. Get in touch on our Instagram at Teach Sleep Repeat Podcast. Our messages are always open.
I will say very quickly, though, one last thing on this one. I left the school like a greyhound at the next transfer window. Let's just celebrate the fact that people are just saying, do you know what? No. I'm not working in these conditions. Goodbye. Because that is one of the only ways you can actually make a school finally maybe look in and look at themselves and be like, oh, maybe we do need to change something because we can't just control all these people. They don't just suck it up and do it anyway. They actually leave. So maybe we've got to do something about it.
Definitely. And that's when change happens, isn't it? You're absolutely right. Cool. Right. On to our first question then from our lovely WhatsApp community. Do get involved, guys. It's a really nice group down in the link in the description to this episode. Secondary school teacher here. We get quite a lot of messages from secondary teachers. I love it. I really enjoy it. So if you're a secondary teacher, hello. My colleague is on long-term sick leave. SLT are requiring me to teach a combined year 11 class, my class and the colleague's class, in a school assembly hall. Ooh. There are around 65 children in there at once. When I asked about this, I was told it's non-negotiable. I also requested that a member of SLT would be in the hall to support with behaviour, large group size, to which they refused and said, we're too busy and to get on with it because you're head of department. Is this something I can raise further as I'm required to teach multiple children at once? Obviously getting nowhere near quality teaching in my normal classroom, mark extra books and set cover for my colleagues' other lessons as well.
That's a tough one, isn't it? Because I presume the confidence of the SLT saying just get on with it means that surely they've checked and this is within the rules. But it sounds absolutely mental. We've talked about class sizes. You put a post out on Facebook yesterday talking about how class sizes of over 30 are already they're just mental.
I think so.
And there's a reason private schools have much smaller classes, all this stuff. 65? And they're big kids?
Yeah.
I don't want to teach one big kid. That's scary. give me a 10-year-old. That is it. That's my limit. Oh my God.
That's so interesting that as you get higher in age, you want to teach fewer of them because there'll be secondary school teachers here going, don't give me a group of 7-year-olds.
Yeah, I know.
It's so weird how our strengths change.
Maybe year 11s, maybe they're nicer. I don't know. I can't remember. I'm pretty sure I was horrible at year 11. But
wait, you're horrible now. So
I'm pretty sure I was very annoying at that age.
I did actually look up the rules around this. There's a limit in class size for very young children.
Okay.
So I think it's down in infant school essentially where you can't have more than 30.
Right, because the adult ratio. And
exactly that. But even in upper primary school, obviously all the way through to secondary, there is no legal limit. So there's no legal number where this person can turn around and say, oh, well, there's over 50 now. This is unacceptable. I can't do it. Legally, that doesn't exist. That's no cap there. But can we just for a second appreciate, and do you know what? I think running a secondary school must be incredibly difficult. Because there's so many cogs and different departments going at the same time and the sheer amount of children. It's like, it's a different kettle of fish to many primary schools, really. And running a primary school is hard. So I can understand why, especially when you go on long-term sick leave, etc., and you've got all these children who need input from teachers, why that's tricky to sort.
Sure.
But there's 2 prongs to this, and we can go down whichever route you want. I'll mention them both now. My first frustration is that when there's long-term sick, that a school isn't in a position financially or doesn't want to just simply say, cool, we'll get cover in. End of the story. We've got a qualified cover teacher, supply teacher to come in and take this class on. Why is that not happening? That's really frustrating. And the second thing is that if you're going to do this, again, as SLT, you have to have empathy and understanding and be able to say, not just your head of department, crack on. What on earth difference does that make? There are amazing teachers who are and aren't head of department. It shouldn't make a difference. If anything, your head of department's got more work to do and doesn't need this burden on top of it as well. But the thing that frustrates me is like you have to, as SLT, if you're not going to go down that supply route like I just talked about, the second prong here is you have to have empathy and say and understand that I get it. Do what you can. I'm so sorry. Mark less. Okay, I'll help you out with the cover.
Yeah,
I'll do something to make your life easier because I've just inherently made it harder.
Yeah,
they're my 2 prongs. I don't know where you sit on this.
I think it's the second one's really interesting to me because I think it's really bad that there's clearly a burden here, right? For whatever reason, we'll talk about the first thing in a second. For whatever reason, they come to the conclusion that this is how it's going to have to go. We're going to combine both classes. The idea of the people making that decision, deciding who gets the entirety of that burden, and it's not them, is mad to me. Like, in terms of, like, it's so selfish. Maybe there's other things behind the scenes. I can appreciate that. Perhaps that's it. But as SLT, as the leader of that person, you should be the first person to be saying, right, let's share this burden. I'm really sorry, you are going to have to do this, like, for X, Y, and Z reason. Maybe it's budget, whatever. But I'm going to help you. I'm going to step in. We'll teach the class together. I'll be in there 3 times a week, and then we'll get someone else in the other times just to make sure to help you manage behavior, like you said. That's a good idea. But the first thing is, when it's long-term sick, I'm like, you just got a sort supply.
Yeah.
It's just not accept. There is no reason. I'm like, oh, the budget. Okay. Then you messed up your budget.
Yeah.
If you haven't accounted for the idea of teachers being sick ever, then what are you doing? What are you talking about? Of course, well-run schools account for that in their budget, in their yearly budget. Like, it's just mental. It's not an excuse. It's like, okay, cool, you've done your job poorly then. You can take the burden. Why am I taking the burden? Because you haven't run the school properly.
Yeah.
No.
It's frustrating. And like I said, even if you're in that situation where your finances are in ruin, you have to go back to the first thing you just said. The answer here, when asked, very reasonably asked, can you have some support, please? For SLT to turn around and say, no, we're too busy. Sorry, what do you think I am?
Yeah.
Sorry, where do you think I am in my busyness level? Just because I'm not, in SLT or leadership. I'm a head of department in a secondary school. I can guarantee you it's just as busy as a leader, genuinely. Just as busy, has so much on their plate. It's not acceptable just to say we're too busy. I'm too busy, but I'm doing it.
Yeah.
So what are we going to do? How are we going to come to a common ground? That's what I'd be saying. I'd be just doing what I can and not letting that burden eat me up.
Solely eat you up, yeah. What do we say to this person? Like, other than that, what would you do in that situation? What would you actually do? Would you, if they ultimately just put a brick wall up, like, yeah, well, get on with it.
Yeah.
What do you do?
I think there comes a point where if you've got in touch with your union, that's the first thing I'd do, because they'll be able to guide you on the legalities of it, on what you should get, etc. There is no cap for class size.
No,
there isn't. So I think the hands are probably tied in that situation. But there might be other things in terms of increased workload, etc., going past your directed time, doing too much. There's probably, and this is unfortunate, because the answer becomes, when you have an unresponsive leadership team who aren't taking your well-being into account and overworking you past the contract, it does get to a point, we've said this before, where you personally have to put your head above the parapet.
Yeah.
You have to be the person actually then making a scene, because leadership have decided to make a scene and say, it's way too busy, it's on you.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't have to be the end of it. You can also fight back, and it's not comfortable. It's not nice. It's not what people want to hear sometimes. They kind of want to press the button and someone else sort it for them. You've got to say, I'm not doing this.
Sorry. Leadership, are you going to help me out, or are you going to leave me here to do this all by myself? Wow, we're too busy. It's just so weird, leadership, because I can feel myself getting sick as well. Threaten them. Passive-aggressive threats.
This is not official advice from Teach Sleep Here podcast. Do not cite us when you go off sick as well. But it's true, and you know what? The stress might make you do that.
Yeah, genuinely, that's a legitimate thing. Obviously, you can't actually preemptively threaten it, but
no, of course not.
There is a reality where teaching 65 kids is actually stressful enough to make you go off as well.
Yeah.
But there we go. I don't know. It's
frustrating.
Yeah, horrible. Sorry you're in that situation. It really does suck.
Yeah, but get in touch with your union, get solid legal advice, and then work within that legal framework.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, work within that framework, because you're entitled to.
And then hand your notice in and leave.
Like a greyhound at the next transfer.
Every answer from now on is just going to be just hand your notice in and leave.
Like a cheetah found their prey in the wild. We need to think of as many similes as we can. Like Hayden when he sees a pack of whisper golds at the end of the corridor.
Me?
Anyway, next question. What's the pettiest hill that you will die on in teaching? For example, staples go vertical, not diagonal.
That is very, very petty. I feel
this is good, because we always kind of go against this kind of stuff, don't we?
Yeah,
actually, what is the actual thing where if you were sat on this podcast and got written in, you'd be like, oh, shut up, but you do it.
But I do it anyway. I want you to answer this one first. I feel like you'll have a good one.
For me, it's so when I plan lessons, okay, there's a thing I always do, which is petty, and I kind of get annoyed when other people don't do it, but I understand that it's completely pointless and I cannot absolutely have a go at anyone for this, but I
Okay.
do it. And it's getting rid of the background on pictures that you put into smarts. So we're making it a transparent background. Do you know when you like copy something in?
Yeah,
And it's
yeah.
got like the white background and it makes
Uh-huh.
it into a square, and then you've got a color background, and it just looks so tacky and horrible.
Yeah.
Right click, set transparent background on that picture. Click the white, get rid of it. It makes it look so much better. I understand that's absolutely nothing for the learning.
Yeah, yeah.
I understand everything I've ever said. If this was a different person writing in, I'd be like, get over it, mate. But that's my petty hill that I'm dying on. Get rid of your backgrounds on your pictures. Set it as transparent. It looks so much better. Just do it.
That's so funny. I could just imagine you raging at like some history planning or something. Someone else has poured their heart into, and you're like, oh, could they just get rid of the background of this picture? There's a black or white background.
We need to make Neville Chamberlain pop. We need to make him pop. He's not popping now in his background.
Oh god, that's so funny. You would never write a policy on this.
No,
But
exactly.
That's the thing, isn't it? I'd never enforce a policy on this, but it really pisses
It's
me off.
petty. It literally doesn't matter. But I find myself getting annoyed inside
Yeah.
when I get a smart full of it. But this is where I'm showing planning. This person's planned the whole history in it, and I'm like, ugh, why is there a background?
I feel like you've sparked a whole thing about. I reckon we can go back and forth now with planning, because there's going to be a few things I think with planning.
We're quite particular.
We are
aren't
very particular, even though we all absolutely down the hill of
Yeah.
this doesn't matter and,
Yeah.
and no one should be forced to do this. When I'm planning, though, I will do these things. And font is another one. There's lots of things with font. I know
You hate font.
I know you're thinking about it, but font in general, I'm going to start with the font itself.
Okay.
Right? I tell you what, actually, this is petty. However,
Mm.
it's I don't know. It's going to be two things. I'll see what you
Go
think. Firstly, Comic Sans is fine.
Ooh.
Comic Sans is fine. Just use it.
Okay.
Honestly, it's fine.
Yeah.
Everyone hate. Why does everyone
Yeah.
hate Comic Sans?
Ah.
It's a lesson to a 5-year-old.
Right.
Comic Sans is good.
Yeah, it's not a marketing campaign
Yeah,
on the
do
billboard.
you know what? I've never used it in any
Yeah.
of our marketing for our
Yeah.
tutoring company,
Yeah.
for our maths company we're
Yeah.
building.
Yeah.
I'm not using Comic Sans. But when I'm teaching a bunch of 5-year-olds, 11-year-olds, whatever it is, Comic Sans is fine. It's nice and easy to read. It looks all right.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
I tell you what, it's better than joint handwriting.
Go on then.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm just saying.
better
Yeah.
than joint handwriting.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my god, yes. I was going to mention fonts that are terrible. That is definitely number one.
Yeah.
Cursive. If you're using cursive font on your PowerPoint or your Smart, I'm sorry, but I'm binning the lesson. I'm not even out of respect to font. I'm not even teaching the content you. But it's just disgraceful.
Out of respect to font.
I'm not doing it. And other fonts like you get the like default ones, often like Times New Roman and stuff like Candara, stuff
Arial.
like that. I'm like, Arial's not too bad. It's in the middle. That's in the middle.
okay.
I can get on.
You've got really
I can get on.
deep-rooted
I do.
opinions
I
on
do.
font.
Arial's all right.
Yeah.
It's very vanilla. Whereas Times New Roman, I'm like, come on,
All right.
it's not the 90s.
No.
It's not. We like, what are we doing?
We had a colleague, didn't we, at our old school, who on all their documents would write with Times New Roman, and just because that's what they're used to
Yeah,
from
yeah.
university. And I always used to joke with her and say, "I knew it was your document.
Yeah,
you're the only person I know
using
who
this.
writes in Times New Roman."
Another thing, back to your picture thing, right? I just thought something else because I can think of some
Yeah.
old colleagues that have done this who I'm sure would laugh if they heard this.
Yeah,
When
we hope.
when they've resized an image, but they've not held shift. So they've made it bigger, but they've also allowed it to get that too far when it stretches then. Do you know what I mean? And it's no longer in the ratio that it was originally. And it's like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
If you're enlarging or decreasing an image size, make sure it stays in proportion.
And it starts getting pixelated, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's
when
like,
it stretches
oh my
out.
god!
It's like, why is Stoic the Vast so wide?
Yeah.
It's not that wide.
Oh god, yeah. So there's just so many little petty things. I think it does all. I think you've hit the nail on the head with lesson planning.
Yeah.
That is where the pettiness is.
Formatting a lesson plan.
Yeah.
I like my lesson smarts to have a level of a look to them.
Yeah.
I will be very honest. As I got on in my career, my bar lowered and lowered and lowered. But I will absolutely never allow for an image to not have the background transparent.
Absolutely not.
Never. That's
What's
the
that?
hill I will die on.
A whole PowerPoint slide of text, and it's all the same size, all the same font, all from the left, and the entire slide. Get rid of it. I'm not showing that to kids. I can't put on my screen
Yeah.
a whole slide to a bunch of 7, 8-year-olds.
No.
That's just text, and I'm just going to read it to them.
Boring.
It's not happening.
Boring.
It's not happening.
So boring. I can't think of anything more. I'm getting annoyed thinking about this now.
Yeah.
And actually, I think personally that is something that I might put into a policy. Like that. That's not even a petty hill that I'm dying on.
It's bad for the kids.
Don't put 5,000 words on a slide for a kid. Don't do that. Because what do you know what happens? The teacher just looks at it and goes. And the next thing was that after the Anglo-Saxons were in Britain, they decided to settle. And then if you look at the background of the Romans beforehand, it looks like they went back in time. Isn't that interesting? Let's go to the next slide. Shush,
Sir.
shush. I'm delivering a well-planned lesson.
Sir.
I'm going to go to the next slide now, and you will see 2 pictures. Which one do you think was earlier than the other? Yes, what do you want?
Sir, please, can we leave? Please.
Listen, this is a good lesson, okay? Because the next slide, the pictures, I've got rid of the background. It's transparent.
Yeah, that's
so
right
it's
then.
all fine.
Zen.
Don't worry about that, kiddies.
Oh, God. So, yeah, there you go. Turns out there are some things that we're very
A lot
petty
of
about.
Petty things, indeed. Okay, next question. I loved this one. You recently did a whole episode on primary maths, which I found extremely interesting. I'm a maths lead in my school, and I find that fluency is something we don't quite get right all of the time. What's the difference between fluency and arithmetic? Is your platform going to be doing both or just one? We might need to use it in our school. Doesn't that last bit just get you excited when you hear like someone may be using your thing?
I love how many people have been writing in about this recently.
I know.
We've mentioned it a couple of times, obviously, in the podcast, just kind of in passing. And yeah, we've just had constant messages of, particularly from maths leads, being like, oh, this is interesting. Because what I'm really enjoying is people saying, it sounds really bad when I say this, I'm enjoying people saying fluency is really bad in our school. So I definitely agree. Like, this is something we need to work on.
Yeah.
Yeah, really cool. Go on then, Dylan. So what is the difference between fluency and arithmetic? And is our platform doing both or just one?
So initially, when we built this platform, we were thinking about the foundations of maths, right? Literally children being able to do maths. And again, just very quick link to the curriculum review that came out recently. It mentioned how those foundations need to be really solid, especially in the younger years. And I was like, oh my gosh, it's like we wrote this. It's so important.
Yeah.
In terms of fluency and arithmetic is, to me, a huge part of fluency. So it's under the fluency umbrella. So the platform we're building, we're going to be looking at initially focusing on fluency, understanding number, manipulating number, knowing what things mean, and knowing how to actually do maths. But obviously we had to start somewhere. Yeah. So a big thing for us was arithmetic. And we found that across schools, from people we've seen and talked to and schools we've been involved with, arithmetic is quite inconsistent, let's say. And there, a lot of schools trying to get it right. And there wasn't really much out there that makes teachers' lives easier. So a big thing for us in terms of arithmetic, you have to be able to do maths. You have to be able to add two numbers together, subtract two numbers, multiply, divide, times by 10, divide by 1,000, go into decimals, find a fraction of an amount. The literal building blocks of maths, you have to be able to do it. And that comes in arithmetic.
Yeah.
Okay. Separate to that are things like naming shape, right? Converting measure maybe even might come into it. Knowing like known facts. There are 100 centimeters in a meter. That's all part of fluency. It's something we'll build into it, but we really focus on arithmetic. And what we want to be able to do is schools come along and we say, guys, we've solved arithmetic for you. We've got cumulative tests that build up across the year that you can do once a week with your class. You get instant feedback on the gaps. You get a teacher dashboard where you can see what your children can and can't do. Each individual child has an algorithm for them which learns what they can and can't do. And they can go off into free play and practice things they need to practice or go over stuff they've done before. It's constant recapping, constant doing maths, and only things they've actually covered with you as the teacher. And it's just the ability to be able to streamline making tests, making worksheets, making things for children to actually have a go at. And it's constantly learning what they can and can't do. It's quality, consistent, do it every day for 10 minutes, have a bit of fluency. Just build it into your timetable and get children better at maths. And this platform, I'm so excited because we're going to help so many children get better. And do you know what they can do alongside this? Our platform will take care of the fluency in arithmetic because then it allows the children to reason and problem solve. The literal point of maths, the reason we do maths, to solve problems, to do tricky things. We can unlock that if on our platform, Mathsu, you can get really, really good at just doing the maths. Then you can come in as the teacher, inspire them, get them doing some hands-on learning, get them reasoning, get them problem solving because they've got that solid foundation.
I always think about the amount of gap analysis I do. I think there's loads of levels, right? I do, as a year 6 teacher, we'd be doing our mock sats and things across the year, and I'd be doing a big old gap analysis of that arithmetic and then using that to inform basically the arithmetic that I teach in my starters or whether it's weaved into my main lesson objectives throughout basically the next term. And I do my little intervention groups, all based on these gap analysis that take absolutely forever, by the way. Imagine that, except you've got it on tap all the time. The gap analysis is done for you. You don't have to do it every single time they use the app. It's not only doing a gap analysis for you. Our app itself is also learning where the child is at and then tailoring what they get in free play. Like, to me, I'm just like, I can't believe that this isn't here already. I'm annoyed that I didn't have this for my entire career, which is why we built it. I mean, this is how things start, isn't it? You have experience in the career, you go, oh, this is missing, and then you build it, right? That is what people generally do. Yep. But yeah, I just to be really clear of our roadmap as well, that's where we're starting. And like Dylan said, fluency is a wider term. And once we've built and nailed the arithmetic, we're going to move straight on to other things like mental arithmetic, a separate part of the platform where it's like, these are things you should be learning and able to do in your head. The wider fluency stuff, like you said, perimeter but knowing how to do perimeter is still fluency.
Right.
You can apply it into a problem solving situation, but being able to practice that and terminology, just knowing the names of things. This is all stuff we're going to build in, and it's part of our roadmap. But the start is arithmetic because it's the biggest thing. It's the foundations. It's being able to sit there and manipulate a number and actually do it properly. So that's where we're going to start. Thanks for writing in though. As you can see, we get very passionate about this.
With fluency in general, then, whilst we're on this quickly, what do you think is the best way to almost teach this? Because I'm very ardent that I think there should be separate given time for the foundational, fundamental parts of maths, whether that's arithmetic or recapping fluency or just getting ideas in all the time. I think that's something you should do often.
Yeah.
Not necessarily for an hour. You don't want to do an hour of rote learn. That's ridiculous. You don't want to do column addition for an hour straight. That's crazy. But 10 minutes a day of targeted practice of arithmetic, of what you can and can't do, or what you want to recap, or what you want to practice with the teacher, or make a group on our platform and then send them off with a teaching assistant and they can work through that. Do you think there's something to be said, or actually, do you know what? Just build in timetable time to become fluent. That's maybe even separate to your main lesson.
100%. I think I would say daily. I actually think it's essential. I think what this curriculum review has done nicely is remind us how important fluency is. I feel like it's slowly slipped away, and it was like reasoning problem solving is so important. It's the only thing we think about anymore. It is really important, but you literally can't do it unless you're building on quality foundations.
I've been thinking about exactly that because it's the line I say all the time. You need to be fluent to reason and problem solve. And in general, it's true. But I do think, what our platform's not going to do is, replace the teacher.
Yeah.
The point is it unlocks it for the teacher. So I think you can reason at any point. Whilst you're becoming fluent, when you are fluent, when you're problem solving, I think reasoning comes at all points because you can, even if you're getting stuff wrong, you can reason as to why, maybe what happened, etc. So I think reasoning can happen at any point and should happen at all points. I don't think it's like, here's our platform, don't reason and problem solve until after. At all points as a teacher, you know what to do in terms of reasoning. And even problem solving to a degree, you have to be really specific. You can't solve problems that require you to do the maths you're not fluent in. That's what I would say, because I think there are some problems out there, trial and improvement. You might, or more common in terms of what I'm trying to get to here is like triangle possibilities.
Yeah.
You don't need to be fluent in a column addition to be able to trial possibilities. You've got ice cream flavors of strawberry, mint, vanilla. How many different combinations of two can you make? You don't have to be fluent in anything really, just other than a problem solving technique of trying all of the different ways of doing it and seeing if you can get an exhaustive list. So again, I do think problem solving and reasoning can happen all of the time, and it's really important to do that. And I think the review nods to that as well. It says that's what maths should be. But we cannot get away from the fact that fundamentally you have to be able to do the maths. And there's nothing, I think, below that in terms of foundation wise. So if our platform can make these foundations so solid, the quality teachers can come in my metaphor, they're quality builders. They come in and they plan what they're going to build on top of these foundations. They make sure it's an amazing house that's bespoke to each child. Our platform helps you to do that. And I can't wait to roll it out.
Yeah, particularly when their workload is reduced when it comes to the arithmetic side of things anyway, like from everything I said about gap analysis and the free play doing its thing. Yeah,
Can you imagine if we created a platform that increases workload after everything we've been saying? No, it's at the forefront of our mind. Reduce that workload.
Right, come on, Dylan, let's move on to another question. So I'm going to read one this time. If you were stuck on a desert island, what 3 things would you take?
Ooh.
Can't take family in brackets.
Well, they hadn't come straight to mind.
I knew you were going to say that.
Won't get them anyway.
They weren't even in my top 3. Rory sat there up 9th on the list. Like, Daddy.
No, because why would I take him to a desert island? Stay at home with your mum. Stay at home. No problem.
I'm taking your mum then. Good luck, son.
You'll be all right, mate.
Go on then. What 3 things would you take?
Okay, currently, my Kindle. I'm glued to my Kindle currently. I am absolutely loving it. I'm getting into reading. I'm trying to relax at night time. I think in the wilderness with all the wild animals after me, I think just that downtime in the evening would be really
nice.
good.
That'd be good for 3 days. What's next?
Run out of battery.
What's next, Einstein? Good thought.
Sorry, Mr. Doesn't Read. I've been reading all about my history and my non-fiction. I've started reading Frankenstein by Shelley.
That's popular right now, isn't it?
I don't know why it's like in my subconscious to read it. I've seen a lot of it. Maybe there's a new show coming out.
There's a bunch of films and stuff as well right now.
Yeah, I'm hooked.
Really?
I'm actually hooked. Yeah, I found
what's going to happen.
Yeah.
I can't wait to find out what happens next.
What will it There was one part at the start where they're writing letters to each other, and this person's writing a letter home to a family, and he's on a ship, and he notices like a sled go by, and he writes it, and he's like, "It looks like some kind of large humanoid figure in the sled." And I was like, "Well, I know that is." Spoiler alert! That's Frankenstein's monster.
Oh, the book's spoiling the book for me.
So I take my Kindle.
Yeah, your Kindle.
What else would I take? I would probably take. It's hard when there's like no electronics, isn't there?
Yeah.
I suppose I take my Uno deck and play against myself. I'd like deal 2 hands out. I'd stand up and go to the other side, and I play Uno.
You not really thought this through, have you?
No. And the last thing I take is certainly my chessboard to do the same thing. When I'm bored of Uno,
You can play
when
your
I'm
Kindle.
bored of playing myself at Uno and doing the old +4 when I knew it was going to happen, but just saving that to the end,
Yeah.
I'll go to my chessboard. When I'm bored, I'll go back to reading Frankenstein where I would know the ending.
Yeah.
What about you?
You would be rubbish. You'd be bored in no time.
I think I'd be the opposite of bored, Hayden.
I don't know.
I've put all 3 of my things into entertainment.
To be fair, if you were going on rankings on the island, you would be #1 grandmaster at chess.
There you go, exactly
So,
that. #1 at Uno.
You can give yourself that title.
The best and the first person on the island to read Frankenstein.
Wow, you really didn't think this through. You didn't think of the parameters. I'd take my house. my house would be #1.
Does that count as one thing, does it?
I think so. I don't see anything in brackets saying can't take your house. It says can't take your family. Well, I can take what they live in,
You're
can't I?
stuck on this island. I'll take society. I'll take community. And I'll take warmth.
Oh God, what do you actually take? Because what is sad about this is it makes you realise how we absolutely just revolve around electronics now.
Yeah, is that sad?
I don't know. It's not sad
Is that
necessarily,
sad?
but I'm like,
Oh,
God.
back in the old days, didn't have electronic. Yeah, I don't want to live then.
Yeah, it's true.
It's worse.
But if you
Why
ask this
glamorising
person
it?
someone 200 years ago, they'd be like, "Oh, great.
Yeah,
I'll
what would
just
they
take my
take?
3." I don't know. What would they take? What would they take?
Their moustache.
Yeah.
Their black and white camera.
My comb. I gotta look mighty
And
fine.
my Daily Telegraph.
Yeah.
Shall read for the next week.
God, I don't know. It'd have to be a book, wouldn't it? Because a Kindle ultimately would run out at the end of the day.
They have a very long battery life, I haven't they?
But like, we're starting over years.
Well, I'm hoping I get saved after a short amount of time.
Yeah.
Is this forever?
Maybe a Rubik's Cube?
You can't.
Because that is look. I'm sorry.
You can't have a go at me for my ones.
Your
and then
ones
turn
are
around and turn around and say book, which is a Kindle, but fewer of them.
Yeah, it lasts forever.
Rubik's Cube, which isn't even a game.
One player though.
Yeah, but I can play against myself.
Yeah, I can play
one player. I've never heard of Rubik's Cube be described as a one-player game.
It is a one-player game.
It's not a game.
It is. I don't. I'm also taking a tent. I feel like we need to.
That's probably the most sensible thing
we probably
do
need some sort of shelter. Because I tell you what, I'm not the kind of guy who's going to be making. I'm not the person on YouTube who's going out into the wilderness.
Outdoor
and
boys.
Yeah, just making things.
Can I just
in the
say,
wild.
I have also been watching that recently. I saw for the first time, it was a video of him saying, "I'm stopping doing videos." And I was like, "Oh,
That's hilarious.
Oh, I wonder who
Good
this
time
guy
to
is.
tune in.
Yeah, it had like millions and millions of
They
views.
get a lot of views those videos.
Oh, it was. But
And
I've
they
watched,
always come back.
I've watched a few.
Yeah.
Unreal.
Which one is it? Is this the one where they? What describe it to me?
No,
I've seen
he's
different
like
channels.
a middle-aged bloke in America who sometimes with his children goes out like to a remote island, camps for 3 days, fishes with them, just lives off the land.
Right.
And he goes into more extreme ones on his own. So he'll like go up into like the North Alaska, into
Okay.
like the icy sheets and the snow, build a like just a place for him to sleep under the snow that stays warm. It's like -20. It's insane. It's so good.
I think you are the absolute epitome of the opposite of that. I think you would be dead so quick on a desert island. Honestly, I actually think like it would be quicker than like what is normal.
Just if I did nothing, I'd survive more.
Honestly,
Because in me trying to survive, I'd run into a bear trap.
yeah, literally, like you just,
No, I am useless with anything like that. That's why you asked me what things would I take to desert island, and I said a f***ing chessboard. Like, come on. What the hell? How long it'd last? Doing the knight's move, doing the queen's gambit whilst there's a bear over my shoulder. It's like, this guy's not gonna.
Do you want to play? You are the only person, right? Because I am also useless at this kind of stuff. You're the only person that makes me feel better.
I'd be serving the grizzly bear at +4. Well, I got you there, wouldn't I? Just eats my head off.
Oh God, what a question. Turns out we have no idea. No idea how to survive.
Doesn't matter. Wouldn't last a day. Doesn't matter what I
Dylan's
take.
chucking a Kindle round as a frisbee after day 3 because it's useless.
It's at battery. Oh, thank you so much for that question. Next one.
Right, one more, Dylan. But before that, if you're enjoying this podcast, please do leave us a review. It massively boosts our numbers and helps us, and we'd hugely appreciate it.
Don't say please. If you're rude and to the point, they just do it.
Do it.
Leave a review.
That's it. He's the pro.
Teach us there. Teach us there.
If you're not watching, then you're missing out. What does the PowerPoint on teacher well-being look like in the 9th circle of hell?
Oh, teacher well-being. We have taught so much about this. Before we go into the memes and the jokes, because we will, naturally, I've got to say I've seen it done really well. And it's our old mate, Charlie Birdie, teacher's health coach.
Legend.
The nicest guy you'll ever talk to. Does a lot of going into schools and talking to them. And he's the first person on our post where we have a laugh about well-being and forced well-being, yoga classes, breathing exercises. He's the first person commenting, laughing. And he says himself, it can sound like an oxymoron to have a staff meeting about well-being when really you just want to go and mark your books and go home.
Yeah.
But I've seen some of the content that he gives and trains and like his teachers when there's schools that he's working with. And it is really good. So this can be done well. Let me just put that out there right now. But in the 9th circle of hell, we don't have Charlie Birdie coming in.
No.
What does it look like?
It's got to be passive-aggressive things, isn't it? It's got to be where SLT are putting in token things that they're like, yeah, this is for your well-being, but it isn't remotely.
Go on then. So you walk into the staff meeting. I'm imagining straight away there's some tranquil music on in the background.
Yeah.
The kind of stuff you might put on when your kids are doing some writing. You just need to be quiet for a minute. I'm like, I'm a 32-year-old professional man. Okay, fine. Some tranquil music coming on. You sit down and you've just got in front of you like a stress ball. And it's like, I'm not going to tell you what to do with the stress ball, but do whatever you think you need to do with the stress ball.
Can I leave with it? Can I pick it up and go? Because that would help my well-being more, actually.
Do whatever you can within the confines of
staying in your chair.
No, you've got to stay in your chair, sorry. I vividly remember these things. And they're good. They're good. They have their place. Please don't think I'm saying they're awful.
Yeah.
I just didn't want to do it.
Yeah, if you pick it up and choose it at home yourself.
Yeah, I know. It's when like you used to sit there and, you know, they were like, trace your finger along your thumb and breathe in as you go up and out as you go down. Then go to your next finger, in as you go up, out as you go down. And I'm sat there going, I've got 97 books to mark.
Yeah.
I'm going, in and out. And I know how this can regulate you. I get it. But this is actually making my blood boil. It's doing the opposite of regulating me right now. I don't want to do it. So yeah, definitely some kind of breathing exercise, going up and down your fingers. Maybe then like a breathing exercise where you just sit in your chair, close your eyes, imagine you're a raisin, pick up your raisin, put your mouth, imagine you can feel it at the top.
Yeah.
It's all like rooted in good stuff. Like I think meditation is amazing. Like I used to meditate a lot. I should do it again because it just grounds you and it just relaxes you. It's not like, oh, I'm with one with the soul of nature. It's not about that. It's just about grounding your body and getting you into a state of relaxation. It's good. Just don't want to do it.
Because well-being to me, for teachers, it is quite a simple formula, isn't it really? It's so rooted in workload. It's basically just, if you want to actually improve someone's well-being, it's just whatever the thing is that you're doing and put in place, it just needs to reduce their workload. That's how their well-being can get better. So when something comes in, like the classic, like the yoga class, like anything where it's been scheduled in your timetable, regardless of how nice that thing is, it's like, this isn't reducing my workload. It's just not. This isn't the well-being policy that I'd hoped for. Well-being to me, I want a day off. Like, give me a Christmas shopping day off. That will help my well-being. We're all gonna have to come in on Saturday morning because we're doing a Christmas well-being meditation
workshop.
Like,
no. We're gonna make a wreath. Like, okay, good. That's great, but I don't want to do it.
Yeah, my favorite ones are the really passive ones where it's like you're barely even disguising this now. Of like right. So SLT have thought, we're going to do a new policy for something that does actually increase workload. We need to mask it somehow so people don't think it is, even though everyone can see through it. So we're going to like tag on something nice to it as well. So it's, right. The kids are going to come in 10 minutes earlier now than they ever have done before. They're not going to play anymore. What we want you to do, because we don't want to increase your workload. We don't give you any planning to do. They're going to come in. They're just going to sit in the classroom and they're going to do a 10-minute meditation PowerPoint that we've prepared and we're going to give to you. And all you have to do is be there and do it. And it's going to be good for your well-being because we haven't asked you to do anything extra. Some other schools down the road get their kids in at this time and they have to do early morning maths. Yeah. And we just want to do some meditation with the children. We think it's good. Previously, they were just outside playing and you had 10 more minutes extra just to prep. Stuff like that. I'm always like, oh, it's so hard to fight back against because it sounds nice, but ultimately I just have to be in the room now for 10 more minutes and I have 10 minutes less to myself to prep. Yeah. So it's not good.
Don't you find it? I find it so funny in them situations where it'll be justified of an increase. Like, well, it's just 10 minutes. It's just 10 minutes. And then if a kid's 2 minutes late a day, they get a letter home. 2 minutes a day adds up to 7,000 hours a year. And they're going to not have a job when they're older. And they're going to have and more. They're going to have £10,000 less a year.
Yeah.
That's really interesting, isn't it? How your unit of understanding how important small amounts of time are is very, very different when it comes to eking more work out of your staff than it is to your children being in the classroom. That's very strange, isn't it?
Exactly.
Frustrating.
Can you think of any more like passive ones that we've had in the past, like passive aggressive things where it's like, this is clearly not actually for my well-being, it's just disguising something else?
I've heard before, someone messaged us saying, they said, we've got to put the Christmas decorations up. Right, so you're coming up to that time now where you might put the Christmas decorations up in your school, and it's bloody lovely. I love it when the school's all done up, and someone's got to do it. So yeah, do you know what? It's the kind of thing in the past where I've been like, of course I will just spend 20 minutes doing this. It's a nice thing, but it's voluntary, right? It's voluntary. And this guy messaged us and said, in our school we're being forced to do this. Like, is this okay? They'll say that they'll bring some chocolates.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's it. It's nice, right?
It is nice.
It's nice. It's lovely. It's fantastic. But it doesn't mean like just ignore the part where I've said this is no longer optional. Though you've got to come and put up Christmas decorations for an hour and a half after school.
Yeah.
But I've got a box of heroes.
Yeah.
And it's like that. That's the kind of thing where I'm like, oh, I'm gonna look like such a twat if I say, what? No, that box of heroes didn't do anything because it's nice.
Yeah.
But it's just papering over. You've just added an hour and a half to my day and I've still got to get everything done.
Yeah, you have just skirted around the fact that what you really are saying is everyone needs to come and do this thing for an hour and a half after school.
Yeah.
And I'll give you some chocolates as well.
Yeah.
That's really what you're saying. You're just rewording it so it looks nice and then the person feels bad. That's not good for well-being. Yeah, definitely.
I remember like something actually cool in terms of, it probably was like a well-being initiative, didn't have to do it. It was just nice. Was I worked in a school previously where on a Friday you could just go and get breakfast for free.
Yeah.
Just for free. And it wasn't like, you have to be here by this time, or you have to spend X amount of time with the children in breakfast club. Blah, blah, blah. It was just simply them saying, on a Friday, bacon roll Friday.
Bacon roll Friday.
Or, if you eat something, vegetarian sausages on a Friday, whatever it might be, you just go and get some breakfast, some cereal, some toast. It was just basically, they said, thanks, guys. We worked really hard. Have pick up a sandwich on your way through in the morning. That is a perfect example to me of don't have to do it. Might have had my own breakfast. It's there. It's an option. There's no strings attached.
Yeah.
That's really good well-being. It's just hard when it's hardwired into an hour if you have to be sat in this room and I'm going to force you. It's like when someone forces you to have fun. We're about to have fun today, guys. I'm probably not going to have fun now. If you're forcing me to do that, it's probably not going to be fun for me.
Another one, inset days. When well-being stuff is built into inset days, I feel like that's nine circle of hell, isn't it? That's
because you just want to get on and play your stuff.
No one wants to do that. No one wants to do that. It's like we've got an inset day, so we've got 2 hours special with some person coming in to run a course, and it's like, I just don't want to do this. I just want to put my displays up so I don't have to do it in term.
Yeah, it can be quite frustrating, that's for sure. But yeah, to me, it's the spectrum.
Yeah,
there's a huge spectrum. It can be done well. It's often not done well. It's often done in a way where actually it's more frustrating. However, there are some really good initiatives out there. I think it has to be just no strings attached. Here's a little thing for you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Go home.
I appreciate you. Full stop. That's it.
No semicolon?
No semicolon. And we're going to do this.
I appreciate you.
And so can you do this thing? Give me this thing. You have to do this thing for me now. You have to do this thing for me now that's arbitrarily weighed like 3 times bigger than the thing I'm giving you.
I gave you a miniature hero. You give me 2 Hour Club every week.
Yeah.
That's a good trade-off well-being, baby. Yeah. No, it doesn't go well like that.
Oh, dear.
Right, Hayden, thank you so much. I enjoyed that as always.
You're welcome.
Let's round out there. Anything to say before we finish?
Yeah, if you could please just stop asking me this question at the end when I never have anything to say. That would be fantastic. And see you next week. Shut up.